evening. John Major, battered by the Wirral by-election result, conceded to ITN today that Labour could win the next general election. He told our political editor Michael Brunson that that would happen if opinion did not change between now and then. Wirral was the result Labour dreamed of and the Conservatives feared. Labour finished with nearly 23,000 votes. The Conservatives got nearly 15,000 and the Liberal Democrats just over 4,000 votes. That's a Labour majority of nearly 8,000 and a swing of over 17%. Our political editor Michael Brunson reports.
James Keith Chapman, 22,767.
The overnight formal declaration that Labour's candidate has won was not just the excuse for champagne this morning, it was also confirmation that Tory voters in Wirral South had turned out in large numbers and that plenty of them had switched their votes to Labour.
Good morning, thank you.
The winner, Ben Chapman, did a victory tour with John Prescott and later said that the Tories who'd switched to Labour would stay with Labour.
It's a very large majority, it's a very large swing, and it's a permanent swing. The people I talked to had thought long and hard about this decision.
A permanent swing? Mr Major doesn't accept that. This evening he's in Scotland, launching his counterattack, based, Tory sources confirm, on scaring people rigid about Labour. The Prime Minister rehearsed it in Downing Street before he left. He frankly and somewhat surprisingly admitted to me that if nothing changes between now and the general election, there will be a Labour government. So how does he stop that happening in 9 weeks?
Well, it's kind of you to pick the election date for me. Certainly there's not...
Most 9 weeks.
Thank you very much. Certainly there's not very long. I agree with that. And people will, I think, for that reason, begin to focus more sharply. If opinion doesn't change, then we are going to have a Labour government. And people will have to realise what a Labour government will mean. It's not just a question of Mr Blair, who has done nothing to help this country achieve its present circumstances except oppose the policies that have done it. It will be Mr Prescott, who says it would be stupid to publish their tax plans. It will be Mrs Beckett, who wants to surrender all the trade union laws. Now that is what people will get if they get a Labour government.
Do you not think it is damaging to you to be seen to be hanging on as a result of a deal with the Ulster Unionists?
There's no deal with the Ulster Unionists.
Looks like that.
Well, it may look like it, but I fail to see any justification for you suggesting that. What the Ulster Unionists are getting, if you're talking about the Northern Ireland Grand Committee, is what we've already given to Scotland and already given to Wales.
But it will keep the Ulster Unionists on board and prevent Labour calling an immediate confidence vote. How do the Unionists justify that?
It's a position where, in fact, we can maximise the effect of our nine-man team in the best interests of all of the people of Northern Ireland.
Confidence vote problems apart, Tony Blair ran into another problem today. As he arrived at the Welsh Labour conference in Llandudno, he was jostled by those who fear the Labour Party may ban fox hunting. But once inside, the Labour leader turned immediately to the general election.
We have won seats in local government and by-elections now right across every single part of Britain. And to those who say we can't do it, I have just 9 words to say to you. Ben Chapman, Labour Member of Parliament for Wirral South. Ben Chapman.
And on he came for more congratulations. And what Paddy Ashdown's comment on the by-election lacked in length, it made up for in impact.
I think the message to the government's very clear. Time's up. Go now and shut the door quietly behind you.
But leaving for Scotland tonight, Mr Major will have kept a firm hold on one statistic, that at the last 3 general elections, the Conservative Party has clawed back every one of its by-election losses and gone on to win. Michael Brunson, ITN, Westminster.
Well, Michael, we just heard Mr Major saying to you there that there could be a Labour government if opinions don't change. He clearly still believes they can be changed.
Well, what he's going to do is to keep on pointing out to people between now and the election date, whenever it is, and of course most likely May the 1st, that what has happened thus far, and including this by-election, is that people have focused on the bad things that they remember during the course of this Conservative administration, the things that have hurt people. Now, he's in effect saying, all right, that's fine, that's your privilege during by-elections, but please do focus on what that would mean if you bring in a Labour government. And so hence the, if you like, scare campaign against that. But you see, Labour are going to say this just won't work because the campaigning so far has been precisely along those lines by the Tories, they will say. You remember the New Labour, New Danger. They said it hasn't worked over the past 6 months, and they will say it is not going to work in the remaining 9 weeks.
Michael, thank you.